family dinner I paid for. The place was empty. Mom laughed and said, "That was yesterday. We'll bring you some leftovers." I didn't say anything, but the next morning, the police did. I should have known something was wrong the second I pulled into the parking lot. No familiar cars, no noise, no cousins pretending to hide while they smoked, just silence. I checked the message again. Friday, 7 p.m. Mateos. Can't wait to see everyone. Mom, 2 weeks ago. It was Friday, 7:02. I was right on time. Like an idiot. Inside, the restaurant was busy, soft music, people chatting. But the private room I booked and paid for, locked, empty. "Can I help you, sir?" the hostess asked. "Yeah." "Thompson party, private room?" She looked at the list. "Oh, that was last night." "No, it's tonight," I said. "I booked it, paid the deposit." She looked again. 16 people, big cake. Your mom even brought place cards. Are you sure you're not mistaken? I let out a dry, bitter laugh. No, I'm not mistaken. She asked if I wanted to call someone. I already was. The phone rang. "Hi, sweetie," Mom said like nothing was wrong. "Where's everybody?" A pause, then that laugh she uses when she's lying. "Oh honey, it was yesterday. We thought you weren't coming, but we'll bring you leftovers." I hung up. No one called back. Then I got a text from my sister Tina. "Bro, you seriously missed it. Classic. Don't worry, we saved you a roll." My hands were shaking. I couldn't tell if it was from the cold or anger. "They came, ate, left?" I asked the hostess. She shrugged. "Looked like they had fun." "Of course they did. They always do when I'm not around." I didn't yell. I didn't text them. I just left. But I didn't go home. I sat in the car, thinking about the bill, the deposit, the messages I sent Mom confirming the time, 10 of them. They knew, they just didn't care. This wasn't the first time they left me out, just the first time they didn't pretend they hadn't. Growing up, Tina was the bright one. I was the one who didn't need much. Which really meant, you're used to being unloved, so we're not wasting any on you. When I got my first real job, I called Mom excited. She didn't say congratulations. She said, "Great, now you can help Tina with rent." That was the start. 1 month of rent became a year, then bills, her dental work, car insurance, textbooks for a program she dropped and never paid me back for. I kept paying, thinking that's what love meant in a family. But in mine, love only went one way. Every time I said something, even gently, they'd hit me with, "Don't be so transactional. Tina's struggling. Why are you keeping score?" I wasn't keeping score. They just never saw I was hurting. Once I sent $600 for her cat's emergency vet visit. Later that day, she posted new shoes and champagne with some guy. I showed Mom. She laughed and said, "You boys are so petty about money." Petty? I paid their property taxes. Covered Tina's credit cards when she got laid off. Maxed my savings one Christmas to buy everyone gifts. And what did I get? A framed photo of the family. I wasn't in it. But the worst was what I heard one night at their house. I'd just given Tina $1,200. Went downstairs for water, and heard them talking. "Tina, he's so into playing the martyr, it's pathetic." "Mom, he acts like a hero just because he pays." "Dad, let him. He's not getting married anyway, might as well be useful." Then Tina said, "He thinks we'd fall apart without him? Please, if he vanished tomorrow, I wouldn't even notice." I didn't say anything, just went back upstairs. The next morning, Mom made pancakes like nothing had happened. I stopped sending money, for 2 weeks. Then Tina texted, "I need rent, I'll pay you back, promise." I didn't respond. Then Mom called, "Tina's struggling, she's sensitive, why are you being cold?" I said, "I can't keep doing this." Mom said, "If you're going to punish us for raising you, maybe we shouldn't have bothered." That broke something in me. I sent the money later that day. And now, after all that, they had a family dinner without me. The one I paid for. The one I confirmed. And Mom just said, "It was yesterday, we'll bring you leftovers." Leftovers, like I was a dog. Not a son, not a brother, just a wallet with arms. I sat in my car that night, thinking about every time I'd tried to be the good one, what it had cost me. Tomorrow, I wouldn't be the good one anymore. I knew exactly where I'd start. I didn't sleep that night, Not because I was sad or angry. I was planning. Dinner at Mateo's cost me $1,740. 16 people, appetizers, special menus. I even paid extra for Tina's vegan dish and Aunt Mary's wine allergy. They didn't forget me. They chose to exclude me. The next morning, I sent a message in the group chat. Let's meet at Mom's tonight, 7 p.m. I have something for you. No one asked what it was. Of course not. At 6:58, I pulled into the driveway. Everyone was already inside. Tina was on her phone. Dad had a beer. Mom was fixing the pillows. She looked up and smiled. Hi honey, we weren't sure if you'd still be upset. I said nothing. Tina looked up. Fake nice. We didn't mean to hurt you. Thursday was just easier. We have lives, you know. I set a big envelope on the table. Mom asked, "What's this?" I sat down and said, "It's a bill." Dad scoffed. A bill? For what? For the dinner, I said. The one you all enjoyed without me. Tina laughed. You're joking. I'm not. Mom squinted at me. Are you really asking us to pay you back? No, I said, leaning in. I'm giving you the chance. From now on, anything you want from me comes with an invoice. The room went quiet. Then Dad sat up, looking serious. You need to drop this attitude. We're family, right? Family? I asked. The same family that left me out of the reunion I paid for? The same family that drained me financially and emotionally for years? Tina rolled her eyes. No one made you pay. That's when something inside me snapped. I stood up. Fine, let's talk about what no one made me do. I pointed at Tina. I wasn't forced to pay your rent for 2 years, or cover your overdraft fees, or pay for your car repair. I turned to Mom. I didn't have to pay your back taxes, or cover your birthday cruise when you said Dad forgot, or buy groceries when you suddenly couldn't walk because of your knee. Dad's face turned red. Watch it. I'm just getting started, I said, pulling out a list from my pocket. You don't want to hear it? I've had to live it. Then, I dropped a folder on the table. What's this now? Dad snapped. I smiled. Documentation. Every single transaction, every wire, every Venmo, every receipt. Tina laughed. Wow, you're really crazy. No, I said, calm as ever. I'm protected. I filed a fraud report this morning. All of this, I tapped the folder, is already in the system. What do you mean? Mom asked, her voice quiet now. I looked her in the eyes. Last week, I found out someone used my name to open a credit card, the same one that paid for a new iPhone and a spa package Tina posted about but said was a gift from a friend. Tina froze. I called the credit card company. They're investigating it as identity theft. The address they gave? Yours. Tina stood up. Are you serious? Yep, I said. And if you think I won't press charges? You wouldn't dare, Mom hissed. Try me. Then it all exploded. Tina yelled. You're pathetic. Dad shouted. You want to send your sister to jail? Do you want me to keep being the fool forever? I shot back. Mom started crying. You're ruining this family. No, I said, heading for the door. I'm saving myself from it. Then, the unexpected happened. As I was about to leave, my cousin Luke, the quiet one, spoke up. I'd like to pay my share, he said softly, of the dinner. I mean, it's only fair. Everyone turned to look at him. He added. I know I should have said something earlier, but, they planned to exclude you. I was there when they joked about it, said you'd be too dramatic. I'm sorry. I looked at him, and for the first time that night, I smiled. Thanks. Then I walked out. They thought they could use me forever, but they forgot one thing, even the quiet ones speak up eventually. And when we do, we don't whisper. We call the cops. The next morning, at 8:17 a.m., my phone buzzed. Private number. I answered. Hi, is this Daniel Thompson? Yes. This is Officer Reynolds from the local precinct. We're following up on a report of financial fraud involving a credit card opened in your name. Your family's address was listed. We'll be visiting today for a statement. I was quiet for a moment. Do you need me there? No, sir, you've done your part. We'll handle it from here. I hung up and sat back, calm. For once, they'd open the door and find someone they couldn't manipulate. This time, I didn't have to speak. The police did it for me. I thought silence would bring peace, but it brought chaos. They say when you remove the keystone from an arch, everything falls apart. I wasn't the keystone. I was the whole foundation. And when I stepped away, everything crashed. The police visit wasn't subtle. Mom left me a long, angry voicemail. Apparently, they arrived at 7:45 a.m., while she was still in her robe and Dad hadn't even had his coffee. 2 officers, 1 male, 1 female. They were professional but direct. We're following up on an identity theft claim. The credit card was used for over $4,000 in purchases linked to this address. We need to know who had access. Mom's response: there must be a mistake. We're a good family. Typical. They asked to speak to everyone. Tina tried to leave, saying she had work. The officers told her to stay. She broke down in 5 minutes. It wasn't even fraud. He always helps. I thought he wouldn't care. Mom tried to intervene. She's stressed. She didn't mean it. But it was too late. The officer wrote everything down, even asked to see Tina's phone. Then it got worse. They found text messages from Tina to a friend. Use my bro's info. Gonna get a spa day on him. IDC, he's such a pushover, he won't even notice. It wasn't just fraud. It was planned. That same day, I got a call from a detective. We have enough to move forward with charges. Would you like to proceed formally? I asked for 1 day. The next evening, my phone blew up. 27 missed calls, 41 messages. Mom, Daniel, please, we need to talk. It was a mistake. She panicked. She's still your sister. Dad, you don't want to destroy her life over this. Tina, you selfish jerk. I'll lose my job, my apartment. You're ruining our family. Funny how no one cared when I was losing pieces of myself for them. I waited a day. Then I called the detective. Can we pause the formal charge? He agreed, but made it clear, it doesn't go away, it just waits. That's when Mom tried to make her move. She called, her voice soft like she was offering peace. If you really want to fix things, come to the house, let's talk face to face. Against my better judgment, I went. The moment I walked in, I regretted it. Tina was on the couch, wrapped in a blanket like she was the victim. Mom had the worried mother act down. Dad didn't even bother to get up. We just want to heal, Mom said. We? I asked. We know you're hurt, but this is tearing the family apart. No, I said, Tina did that. Tina's voice cracked. I didn't think you'd actually go to the cops. Who does that? Someone who's been pushed too far, I replied. Mom reached for my hand. Let's fix this. We'll pay you back. You don't need the police. Funny, I said, you didn't offer that before they showed up. She pulled her hand back like I slapped her. Dad finally spoke. You're not perfect either. You think this makes you a hero? I looked him in the eye. No, it makes me free. Then I walked out. This time, for good. A week later, the detective called again. We got a payment for the charges. It was anonymous, but it came from a joint account under your parents' names. Do you want to press charges anyway? I thought for a while, then said, no, but I added, not this time, but I want it on record. If she ever does anything with my name again, I want her charged. The detective agreed, and I hung up. Just like that, I was done with them. No more money, no more guilt, no more walking into rooms where I was invisible, unless they needed help with a phone bill. A fresh start. 2 weeks later, I moved out of state. A small town, quiet, a friendly landlord, rent half of what I paid back home. The first weekend, I spent time putting together IKEA furniture and listening to old music I hadn't heard in years. I went grocery shopping and bought the things I liked. I sat on my own couch with coffee and a book, and no one knocked asking for help. For the first time in years, I realized I was only responsible for me. But here's the surprise. 3 weeks into my new life, I got a letter. Handwritten, no return address. Inside was a folded paper and a check. The note read, I don't expect you to forgive me, but thank you for doing what I never had the courage to. Luke. The check was for half of the dinner bill. I smiled. He didn't owe me anything, but he did it anyway. The rest of them? I never heard from them again. Not for my birthday. Not for Christmas. Not even when Dad had surgery later that year. I only found out through a distant cousin's Facebook post. And you know what? Good. They learned to live without me. And I learned to live without them. People always say, blood is thicker than water. They forget the second part of that quote, but it's the blood of the covenant that's thicker than the water of the womb. In other words, loyalty you choose matters more than family. I learned that the hard way. The last time I saw my family's faces was when I left that house. Folder in my hand, fire in my chest. Since then? No contact. At first, silence felt like punishment. Now, it feels like freedom. A few weeks ago, I bumped into someone from back home. A girl I went to high school with. She recognized me in the checkout line at the store. "Hey, didn't you used to be Tina's brother?" I paused, smiled. No. Just like that. No shame, no hesitation. Because I'm not Tina's brother anymore. I'm not the good son. I'm not the bank. I'm not the guy who shows up when everyone else disappears. I'm me. And for the first time in 32 years, that's enough. They thought I wouldn't make it without them. That I'd come crawling back. That I needed their version of love, their guilt trips dressed up as concern, their control disguised as closeness. They were wrong. I don't need Sunday dinners where I sit in silence while they celebrate themselves. I don't need check-ins that are really just requests. I don't need to explain why I changed my number, moved, or didn't show up for Christmas. Let them wonder. Let them stew. Let them explain my absence to everyone else. Because deep down, they know. They pushed me away. And for once, I didn't beg to come back. You want to know the best part? They lost their control the second I stopped asking for love and started demanding respect. People like that, they'll use family against you. But the second you set boundaries, they call you cold, selfish, broken. I'm none of those things. I'm just finally not theirs anymore. And Tina? She didn't lose her job. She didn't go to jail. But you know what? She did lose her mask. Now, everyone knows what she did. How she lied. How she used me. How she laughed behind my back while draining me dry. Now no one trusts her. Luke left the house. Aunt Carol won't let Tina babysit anymore. Uncle Steve called me and said, "Tina's name is mud at every family event. You don't need to come back. They messed up. We all see it now." But I told him what I'll tell you. It's not about who sees it. It's about who survived it. And I did. So no, I'm not going to pretend everything's fine. I'm not going to send birthday cards or pick up out of guilt. I'm not going to show up for fake hugs and tense dinners just so mom can complain about how hard it is to keep families together. I'm not theirs anymore. And it's the best thing that ever happened to me. I wake up now, and there's peace. I work, and keep what I earn. I eat what I want. I don't apologize for saying no. I don't flinch when my phone buzzes. I don't hold my breath around people who claim to love me. I'm free. Not because they let me go, but because I finally stopped waiting for their permission. Let them keep their leftover dinners. Let them gossip. Let them beg, rage, twist the story, call me the villain. I'll sleep like a baby. Because the truth is simple. When they shut that door on me, I didn't lose a family. They lost me. And that's the first bill they'll never pay.